What's up, guys? Chris V Travels, still down here in Columbia, South Carolina. I'm gonna take a quick tour of the Mann-Simons House. And yeah, it's a house that was purchased by a freed slave. That would be Ben Delane. And he also actually bought his wife's freedom. That would be Celia Mann. And yeah, he bought this house in the 1840s. So, and yeah, then their daughter, she was born into slavery. He purchased her freedom as well. So the same family lived here for 125 years. Here's a picture from the 1960s. And they own several buildings in the area. And here is another bird's eye view of Columbia. And they've done a lot of excavating. There's a lot of artifacts inside. So just look at this plaque real quick. Food for thought. Okay, there's a store they owned right there, store/restaurant, and one of the descendants, John Simons. Anyway, yeah, gonna take a quick walk through the inside. And their daughter, as I'd mentioned, they purchased her freedom as well. That would be Agnus Jackson. She's kind of sort of the main owner. So again, picture from the 1960s. All right. Made it inside. Central hallway, of course, and a lot to read. And over here, family tree. Down here at the bottom, Ben and Celia. Ben being the patriarch, and Celia's daughter, Agnus. And there's Agnus. Born 1831, inherited the property, had 7 kids. 1860 census, and there's her grave. Died 1907. And yeah, kind of funny. Celia and Ben actually owned a slave. That's kind of crazy. So technically, they were slave owners. And this person right here, last name is Young. Can't really read the first name. That's the 1850 census. And you can see how much the area grew over 15 years. Early 1900s, and some stuff they dug up from outside. All your typical fragments, piece of a doll. And this is actually a bouncy ball. Too small to be a billiards ball. And then back here, this room is a lot older. And this walking stick, date undetermined. Sears and Roebuck catalog, 1897. And this grocery store/restaurant was right outside to the left there. And it was owned by Agnes's son, John Lucius Simon, her oldest son. And more some beer bottles, some beer caps, spice bottle. This is a cast iron coin bank, and this is skin lightener for the white life. And outside, where you can't see the curtains down, but they've got frames of all the outbuildings. Oh. And John Lucius Simon's son, right there. And he lived right here. That's the house he was born in, that frame right there. And old parlor chair, Sierra 1900. This coat and bowler hat. Doesn't have a date. And there's Agnus again. And can't really go upstairs. And a lot of the descendants, born in the late 1800s, 1900s, she's still alive. And then this lady, Bernice Connors, was a teacher, or she graduated. Yeah, she taught for 40 years here in Columbia. And then back here, deacons of the First Calvary Baptist Church, which actually started in this house, and then they built the building across the street. And some interactive stuff. And then a couple prominent citizens. Yeah, the Simons, 1912, he was a Freemason. And then Amanda Simons, she was a dressmaker. And pretty cool old radio right there. Hot iron. 22 caliber revolver, Sierra 1910. And I don't want to hold this lady up. She's nice to let me do a walkthrough. NAACP. And this is Elmore versus Rice, Brown versus Baskin. The lawsuit challenged the legality of African Americans being barred from voting in the all-white Democratic primary. And going through more of segregation. Yeah, even the telephone books were segregated. And this is from Harper's Weekly. Same thing. Frank Leslie. Photo 1874. And the Capitol City Guards, 1891, and that's a protest, 1960. So, yeah. Oh, and that's the grocery store / restaurant I had showed you earlier. Yeah, this big building in front of us has been condemned. Yeah, so. This doesn't really say anything. Pretty cool gabled window right there. 2 interior chimneys, and yeah, all right. Back of the house, 1919, and these houses were wired for electricity, 1903, and in the 1910s, they got running water and indoor plumbing, and this was the outhouse, it says. And let me walk over and just read these signs. All right, I think this is the last plaque I'm going to read. But as I said when I was inside, this was the house of John Lucius Simons. And a photo from 1967. What would it look like? All right, just got to wrap it up for the Mann-Simons House. Kind of a quick one, but something you need to check out if you're ever down in Columbia. As always, like and subscribe. See ya.